Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of the SP Lunch Break Podcast. With me, as always, our hosts,
Parker Willis,
Jared Garza,
and Eva Morgan.
And I'm Daniel Sarate. And today we have a very special segment. Eva, would you like to inform us about it?
So it's Red Ribbon Week, so we're promoting drug prevention and awareness. So to help us with that today, we have some special guests, Rosalie Tristan and Briana Gallardo.
Good morning. I'm glad I'm here. I'm looking forward to working with y'all today in this segment and getting the word out about prevention.
All right, well, we have a...
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining us today. We have a few questions that we want to get over the topic and really get the public informed about this. So the first question is, who is the coalition and what does it do?
A coalition is a group of folks from the community that are collaborating together to try to bring environmental changes into the community, collaborate with one another, to educate and bring forth the message of prevention for smoking.
Is there like a big group in like the valley, so to speak?
Well, there was another coalition in Hidalgo County that was that just ended their period, and we were able to receive that grant ourselves here in Cameron and Willacy. So yes, there has been a group before, and that was the Hidalgo County group. Now we're targeting Willacy and Cameron County, and this is funds from the state that are coming in to our communities because of the problem that we're having with tobacco.
Okay. Another question. So what are like the main goals and the main mission in general for the coalition?
And like I said, one of the goals is to work with the community. Working with you all in this podcast is going to be very important because you all are helping us bring this message forward to the rest of the community. So it's not just me talking to a group of you all. There's 4 of you here. It's a message that's out there even bigger. So that's one of the goals, is to come out and use cooperation with what's already here present in the community and utilize those programs that are right here and bring out the message of prevention.
Right.
Could you tell us a little about what smoking does to the body and the effects it has on us?
Smoking does a lot for us. Basically, smoking harms nearly almost every organ in our body. That causes many diseases and reduces the health of smokers in general. So a lot of times we have so many things that are in particular, you can say smoking damages your blood vessels, and it can make them thicken and grow narrower. So that's one of the things that can happen. It makes your heart beat faster. Your blood pressure can go up high. So a lot of times we think that smoking doesn't harm you. Actually, smoking harms more than what HIV is doing. So it causes more deaths each year than the following causes combined together, which is HIV, illegal drug use, alcohol use, motor vehicles.
That's crazy.
And including firearm incidents.
Oh, wow.
So, and people don't realize, the effect that this legal drug does. So that's one of the things it does.
So in relation to us, how is that problem today in the Valley and among our youth and all of that?
Well, a recent study that was done with the Texas School Survey, I know that San Perlita has done it in the past. Region 11 is from Corpus on down, which stats are the students themselves take this particular survey. And in this survey, they're telling us, the youth, 20% are telling us that they're able to buy, to get easy access to tobacco.
Right.
So that's kind of alarming. Now, the smoking rates have gone down, but the e-cigarette has gone up high. So those are some of the stats. And this is what the youth are telling us. So when the youth are telling us yourself, when you take this survey, you're telling us that this is affecting you. So we as a community have to come together, us as a coalition. I know the San Perlita School District is part of our coalition, just recently signed on to be part of the coalition. And that just simply means that we're collaborating with the school district to bring prevention measures to your school district.
So what are some of the chemicals that are found in cigarettes that can really do us harm?
the cigarette has a lot of chemicals, and so you want to say that, Briana? Go ahead. We've got Briana Gallardo here that's also a prevention specialist, and she's going to cover that for you.
So inside cigarettes, there's over 7,000 chemicals. You wouldn't think that all these chemicals would be inside just one cigarette. So among the chemicals, we have ammonia, which is toilet cleaner. We have arsenic, which is deadly poison, which could be like rat poison. Methane, which is sewer gas. Butane, which is like lighter fluid. And then cadmium, which is batteries. And then we also have paint thinner. And out of all those over 7,000 chemicals, we have about 70 that are known to cause cancer.
Wow, that's
That's
crazy.
terrible.
Oh wow. I have a question. So like,
Yeah.
does smoking actually cause like black lungs? Like because you're inhaling the smoke and the tobacco, does that cause like the black lung or?
Right now, what we're finding, we'll discuss some of that with the e-cigarettes as far as the lung, what it's causing on the e-cigarettes. That's even a little bit worse on what it does to you. So I know that you're having a second segment, so I'll cover that in the e-cigarette portion of it.
Okay.
But yes, just to answer it real quick, what it does, it covers your lung completely. And what it does, it relaxes your lung, so your lung, and it turns black in the inside of your lung. So that's when you have a lot of problems with COPD. I lost an uncle that had COPD, and so he had to be on oxygen tank the last couple of years of his life because he smoked his entire life. So his lungs were just so deteriorated for the damage that it had caused to his lungs. Did that answer your question, Parker?
Yes, it
Okay.
did.
Well, I mean, now that we have a kind of general idea of what this is about, what are some facts that you can tell us on tobacco in general?
Some facts, okay. We know that it's killing more people than, it's killing a lot of people currently. So we do know that tobacco causes 90% of all lung cancer. And so another fact is that it's killing more people than breast cancer.
Wow.
So that's a big,
Yeah.
we celebrate a lot, not to celebrate, but we use a lot of breast cancer awareness, but you never hear the lung cancer awareness, which is even more. Now, teenagers who smoke are 3 times more likely than non-smokers to use alcohol. So in other words, it comes together, alcohol and
It opens
smoking.
the door for
it
the
opens
other.
the door
Mhm.
for other drugs. It's 8 times more likely to use, and they're also 8 times more likely to use marijuana, and 22 times more likely to use cocaine.
Wow.
So it kind of like you said, Ava, it opens up the door for other drugs.
It's a gateway.
It's a gateway.
Yeah.
So within that, like, how does secondhand smoking also affect like teens and I mean growing up, like around smokers and things like that, affect families?
Because a lot of the
That-
youth, they might not be directly involved,
they're
but a
around
lot
it.
of their parents or uncles are the ones smoking.
Okay, I've personally been affected by secondhand smoking, Ava, and I'm glad you did ask that question. And a lot of times I don't like to share my story, but I think when it comes to educating other families, I think it's so important. My daughter worked at a restaurant at Applebee's, and what they did, she worked at the bar, and she worked there an 8-hour shift. And when you smoke an 8-hour shift, that's an equivalent of when somebody works at a location that smokes. It's equivalent of smoking a pack of cigarette a day.
Wow.
My daughter actually died at her job. She worked there 7 years. She was exposed to 7 years of her life. She was exposed. She was even pregnant at the time. And my granddaughter has asthma. She constantly has problems with bronchitis, infection. So it does affect our families. And a lot of times we don't look at it as a society that it's affecting others as well. When you smoke, well, I smoke, why should anybody else care? But when you hear a story like mine, it just really affects us. And you understand that it's not just a killer disease that just kills, that's going to hurt me, but it's going to hurt others as well.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing that story.
Now,
We
one
really
of the
appreciate
things,
it.
Parker, that we also do, my granddaughter, she's 9 now, and she was 5 when her mom died. And she has been one of the best advocates in the Hidalgo County area, along with the coalition that existed there, to bringing in the stories. We collaborated with American Heart Association, the American Cancer Association, and this story was brought up, and we were able to win the battle in McAllen and Edinburgh. Actually, she gave her testimony at the city council in Edinburgh. She couldn't even stand, she had to stand on a chair to give her story. So what y'all are doing here today is just, it's very, very important because you all get this message out. So bringing awareness is so important. So I'm very, very appreciative of you all doing this segment here today. My granddaughter spoke, and you could not hear a pin drop at the city council because she spoke about how it affected her. Mm-hmm. I recently met a family here at the National Take Back, the police that was here, mm-hmm. National Night Out. I had a family from here, and they said, "We're glad that you're doing this because my husband died of secondhand smoking."
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that story. But right now, we're going to go ahead and fall into our break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about vaping and e-cigarettes. So stay tuned.